this power exists. Like we have this force within us, right? But unless we really learn to tune into it, to tap into it, to recognize it, to amplify it from inside out, it's very difficult to see it come to pass in our external world, or for us to wield the power, right? So he says, but this healing, correcting energy can only flow through a consciousness that knows this truth. How do you know something, right? First, the first step is awareness, right? And what happens when you are on a microdosing protocol? I know for me, I find myself becoming aware, more aware, higher. I find myself tapping in and tuning into higher states of awareness over myself, my own thoughts, my own actions, my own habits, my own behaviors, my moods, my reactions and responses. I'm finding myself become aware of more in my environment. And just like all of that, we can become aware of spiritual truths, right? But it takes study, of course, takes tuning into calls like this, or watching videos like this, or tuning into certain podcasts and reading certain books, whatever you're led to. I found that, I've just been guided to the books that I find, I don't ever really like search around for what book should I read next. I'm just it's kind of like a stepping stone effect that I've had over the past like 3 years of me being on this journey, is that I'm just led to the resources. I'm led to the people, the teachers, the courses, the programs, the books, whatever it is that I need in that moment that's applicable to my life and what it is that I'm going through, or yes, going through. And what that is at the foundation is my intuition's guiding me, right? And so your intuition gets stronger and stronger over this process of cultivating this higher state of consciousness and through working with the medicine. And that's why a lot of people will ask me, like, well, if you've been microdosing for 3 years, like, do you have to microdose forever? Or do you, why would you, why they look at it as like a Western medicine, right? But what I always explain, my answer to that is that, when we're dealing with mental health struggles and challenges, we are dealing with some of the lower nature challenges, right? But as we are able to work through those and dissolve the causes of the depression, the anxiety, these mental health struggles that we're going through, we start to literally evolve, right, through our energy centers. And at each energy center, there's new lessons and new things to discover about ourselves and in our consciousness and in the world. And so what I found is that they're an ally of conscious evolution and consciousness expansion. So, and another crazy thing is we can infinitely evolve in our consciousness as long as we're alive on this planet, right? We may or may not be able to evolve physically. I don't know how far the human race is going to go, like over the next, let's just say like 60 years or something like that. I don't know where human beings are going to be at naturally and organically, right? Not taking into the fact that, some people are trying to merge with machines and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of crazy stuff happening on the planet right now in regards to that type of a thing, Terminator stuff, right? Not talking about that, but in and of ourselves. Like, will we see in 10, 20, 30 years, people really having their psychic abilities turning on? Telepathy and just being able to, some people say back in the day that teleportation was and is still a thing. We just forgot how to do it. That, in a book from the same author called The Super Beings, we were at a consciousness level in the far distant past where we were able to dematerialize ourselves and rematerialize ourselves. So like if I wanted to walk to my kitchen right now, I have to get up out of my chair, I have to go over to my door, I have to open the door, walk through the door, and go into the kitchen, right? But with this power of materialization and dematerialization, I could literally just be right back, guys. And like dematerialize my physical body, materialize my physical body into my kitchen. Or even in another place in the world. It might sound crazy, some people listening to that, right? But I am very open-minded. These mushrooms have made me very open-minded in the experiences that I've had. And I'm like, wow, if that was really possible, if it is really possible, then what do we need to do to remember how to do those things, right? And so far where I'm at in that is that individually and collectively, we really need to heal the trauma that we've endured and been through. You know, this, if you were born between the years, or if you're like, if you're alive right now and you're an adult, you know, you probably had some kind of traumatic things happen as a child. And what I've discovered is like, we went through those things and we knew incarnating into our bodies that we were going to go through those traumatic situations to develop our souls to such a level of consciousness to where we could start to remember the divinity and the power and the supernatural aspects of who we truly are. And it sounds crazy, right? And you're like, oh, why did I have to endure all of that or whatever? And you know, it's a really tough thing to come to grips with and to really wrestle around and consider, especially if you've been through some really hard things. I know I have. But that, you know, the soul, it requires challenges to grow. And Earth is that place. This Earth reality, if you look around, it's easy to see that, you know, we endure challenges as human beings, and it's not so much that our human body can get stronger, but it's so that we can evolve ourselves, right? And whether you choose to take the challenge and evolve yourself, some human beings do not, right? We all probably know that family member or that friend or that person who, you know, they just go through the same struggles over and over again their whole life, and they don't learn from it or evolve from it. Or we can, like me and you, who's probably here doing this work, or choosing to evolve from our life lessons, right? And evolve from the things that are happening. You're like, get something from the pain and the struggle and the agony, right? Get something from. So anyways, back to what I'm saying is that I think that we have to focus on the healing first. So then we heal these foundational levels of ourself, the traumatic experiences, the physical body might need some healing, right? Because of whatever maybe we went through in the past, or whatever genetic condition has been activated through our emotions and through the non-regulation of our emotions, being in high states of stress and fight or flight. Sympathetic nervous system has been in overdrive. So we need to heal the body. And then once we have neutralized and healed those aspects of ourselves, then it's evolution time. Then it is the time for us to start activating and turning on those supernatural capabilities, right? And so it's very exciting to me. It's very exciting what the potential is of all of us as human beings and as spiritual beings, rather, in these human body avatars, right? I'm just trying to find where I was in the book.